You see the title of this video, so let's get into it. What's up everyone, it's Adel, and I'm back with another video. This time around, I'll be talking about the 17 new singles that Hayley Williams just released. But to start it off, for those of you who don't know who Hayley Williams is, she is an artist who is famously known as the lead singer of the band Paramore. And over these past 2 weeks, Hayley Williams has teased some new solo material. It was first revealed that a new Hayley Williams single, which was called Mirtazapine, appeared to premiere on a Nashville radio station called WNXP, which showed a CD which showed the date, which was July 23rd, and two singles, which were Mirtazapine and Glum, which was pretty cool because you don't really see too many artists going to radio stations anymore premiering new singles or even presenting a CD with new singles on it for a radio station to play. And it was just discovered this past Monday that Hayley Williams first put out her 17 new singles on her website. But the thing was, her website was locked by a password. So how were people able to access her password protected website and were able to listen to these 17 new songs? Let's dig into that. Let's just give a little background here first. So on the side, Hayley Williams has her own hair dye company called Good Dye Young. And recently, Good Dye Young put out a new color for hair dye, which was called Ego. For those customers who were able to buy the new Ego hair dye, they were given a code which was able to be used to access the password locked website. You can see on this graphic, it even says Ego is more than just a hair color, ... And once you're able to access her website through the code that was given in those emails, you are presented a very vintage Windows 98, Windows 2000 style web page with basically all the singles scattered along the page. And you can see that very 2000 era video player, audio player right there on the screen. Every time you would click a single, it would play through that player. Now I know that on Paramore's subreddit, there were posts being made about the code and people sharing their codes through there, so that gave a lot of people more access to be able to unlock her website and were able to access and listen to the new songs. But the way that I found the code to unlock the website was through Instagram. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw my main feed that ID Magazine made a post about Hayley Williams releasing 17 new songs on her website, and they provided their own code on that post. So I just used that code and was able to unlock the website. Now, knowing me, I wanted to find a way to save the files and all these singles. So what I did was that I used Google Chrome to access the website. And once I was in the website, I used the inspect option on Google Chrome to go and look into the whole code of the website. And once I was able to click on the specific file, I was able to find the code for the single in the code. Basically anything that had an ending to MP3, I basically was able to open that link, which popped up to a new tab, and played the file, and I was able to save those files. So I basically did that 17 times for all 17 singles. So then, yeah, I basically hacked into the mainframe a little bit and was able to save all 17 files onto my laptop. And I just dragged those 17 files into Apple Music and was able to sit down and actually listen to all of those songs on my own pace and time. And I gotta say, I really did enjoy listening to those 17 songs through the first couple of playthroughs. But that also had me thinking that if these songs were made available on the website during that initial time, that meant that these songs were eventually going to end up on all the streaming platforms like Apple Music, Spotify, and all the streaming services. It basically gave her fans a first access and first early listen to all these songs before it hit streaming services, which is a pretty cool way of artists giving fans first direct access to new material and new songs. And then a couple of days later, the website updated and cleared out all the songs from her website. Then it turns out on Thursday evening, it was reported that all the singles were going to be released on streaming services on Friday. But it also turns out that this collection of 17 singles were not going to be released under one project. Instead, all 17 songs were released as 17 separate singles. Personally, for me, I'm someone who listens to albums and kind of goes through the whole journey of listening to an album from top to bottom and seeing the progression and how the album develops and feels and moves and paces from top to bottom. But I do want to say, from this collection of 17 songs, a lot of the songs kind of do sound similar, but also a bunch of songs don't really sound too much similar in terms of genre and feel, which I can understand why these 17 singles are not put under one project. I feel like these singles were put out because they give out a different feel and vibe, and that basically you could just reorder the singles in a certain way depending on how you feel and how you react to them. I also want to say the way that I describe these singles, I will say in these several words right here. And those words are 90s rock, alternative rock, acoustic, folk, experimental, bedroom pop, shoegaze, and fall time. Those are what I feel to be the initial descriptors of how to describe these 17 new Hayley Williams songs. Some of the songs that have a more experimental and art rock type of sound feel like they could be a part of Petals for Armor. The songs that have a more acoustic and folk kind of sound feel like they could belong to her other solo album, Flowers for Vases. And the more rock and alternative rock driven songs feel like they could be a part of This Is Why. And it makes perfect sense that these songs were released at this time, because today is August 1st and it's nearing the end of summertime, and we're also basically 1 month away of entering the fall in September. And these songs kind of perfectly fit that description of it's basically the end of summer and let's head into fall, where everything slows down a bit, it gets a little cozier, the colors of the leaves of trees start changing, and it's that transitional period of time where the weather starts to cool down more. But if you're into those acoustic and folk type of songs that remind you of the fall time, I believe that you would be able to enjoy these collection of singles. One perfect example of that is the song Discovery Channel, which has that whole acoustic and folk rock type of feel to it, and also the chorus interpolates the chorus of the song The Bad Touch by the Bloodhound Gang.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel.
And one song that is a highlight and stands out to me is the song True Believer, which also has that kind of fall feel and that indie rock influence in there. And basically the lyrics of that song touch upon certain subjects such as the negative side of religion and also being against gentrification. Another song that I like is the song Disappearing Man, which has that very acoustic, experimental sound to it. And I liked that whole vocal loop in the intro of this song, which is basically the chorus of the song. And the song Mirtazapine was also a highlight because that was the single that was premiered at the Nashville radio station. And it basically has all these different influences such as 90s rock, shoegaze, alternative rock, and it's basically a banger of a song, really. I also like the song Glum, which was the second single that was on that CD sent to the Nashville radio station. And on the song Glum, I did like how her vocals were basically pitched up during the verses, and they would switch to her regular singing voice in the chorus and would basically alternate between the pitched vocals to her normal vocals from the verse and chorus, vice versa. And I just really like that experimentation of her voice on that. And that song has a very strong alternative rock, acoustic, fall, experimental sound, which are the words that are basically used earlier just to describe all these songs. But I did really like the lyrics in that song because it talks about getting older and basically going through an existential crisis as you get older, which could be relatable to a lot of people my age. I also want to say that the song Love Me Different is also a standout too, because it's probably the most brightest sounding song on this collection of singles. It has a very summery feel, and I could say that it probably belongs on Paramore's album After Laughter. Another highlight is the single Dream Girl in Shibuya, because it has a very heavy dream pop, bedroom pop influence on there, which kind of reminds me of the bands Mazzy Star and The Sundays. Some other songs that stood out to me were the songs Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party. This song just reminded me of the song Liar, which was from Paramore's latest album, This Is Why. And I liked the whole continuation of the lyrics and the verses of saying, I'm the biggest star in this racist country singer's bar, to I'm the biggest star in this bachelorette party bar, to I'm the biggest star in this karaoke bar. And then the repeated lyrics in the chorus saying we only go up from here, which is a very nice optimistic reminder and outlook on things. Also the song I Won't Quit on You, this song definitely has that whole indie rock fall soothing type of vibes to it. It kind of reminds me of Death Cab for Cutie and those kind of songs from their albums Plans and Narrow Stairs. And also the song I Semi OJ, which has a very nice shift in dynamics between the verse and chorus. The verse being a more stable, steady kind of indie rock song, to the chorus, which goes all in on a very heavy synth sound, synth guitar driven sound. And also Hayley Williams' vocals are very high pitched and distorted, and she's basically screaming in the chorus, which is a nice kind of sound to it. Those are some of the standouts from my initial listens when they finally hit the streaming services. So given more time, I'll be able to give a broader, more descriptive type of opinion or feel, because these songs literally just came out today officially. So I got to sit down and listen to these more. But after the initial listen through, I really did enjoy this collection of singles. If you are a fan of Paramore and Hayley Williams' solo work, I could say that you would easily enjoy this collection of songs too. And that's gonna pretty much wrap up this video right here. If you made it this far into the video, I wanna thank you for making it to the end right here and listening to my thoughts and my opinions on these 17 new Hayley Williams singles. And if you are a fan of Paramore or Hayley Williams' solo work, just comment down below your favorite projects and songs by them, and comment down below your thoughts of these 17 new singles. And also, if you want to give me a follow, just follow me at Podeki Media on Instagram and TikTok. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all, and I'll see you all later.